What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble? The black moon swings, and the sky stirs trouble. Yes, 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 yes. By violent ends, we kill the light. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Weird at night.
Freed from the shackles of time and space, we present Weird at Night!
What's up, everybody? It's your band, The Big O. Want to encourage you to tune in to Weird at Night right here on Converge Media every Saturday at 10 p.m.
Hey there. It's your old pal, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I had a hilarious misreading of a sign here in the Waniverse. I read it as, do throw a lit cigarette in the brush. But when I got a little closer, I saw that old Stone Cold's eyes have been beaten to shit because it said, don't throw a lit cigarette in the brush. Hilarious, right? Well, welcome to Weird at Night. Here's Patrick. I'm going to lay a whoop ass on this fire.
Well, hello there, Weirdaroos, Weirdaritos, Weirdericks. Welcome to Weird at Night. I'm Patrick Galactic. You're currently imprisoned by Space Raccoon's Guide for another hour-ish of art, of connection, of creative conversation. I'm stoked to be here with you tonight. Hello to everyone on Twitch. Hello on YouTube. Hello on the Converge Media channels. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. We've got musical performances and videos tonight from Blood Plums, King Youngblood, Topp, Terry Monstrosity, NOTFOR ALE, MARC'L, and Noel Brass Jr. We're gonna dive into Black history. We've got Mcgruff in the house with another edition of 60 Seconds and a whole lot more. That's quite a lot to explore together, so set your heart to Overwan and prepare to depart. To where? To the Artmosphere, you silly sods. But before we can depart, we all know what needs to happen. We must regale the stars with the song of the cosmos. Join me now, and I'm being serious. I'll know if you don't sing along, and it could literally cost us everything. Jenny from North Dakota with the septum ring, who never calls her mom, but always tells her parents, always tells her friends that her parents are dead, especially you. You better be singing along with me. And to do this right, we need the originator of this song. So are we ready? That was great, everyone. Very, very, very good. I feel like the dark matter of the Waniverse warming up like a non-LED Wanksmith light, which you really shouldn't be using anymore because they burn houses to the ground. But nevertheless, the example still stands. But enough arson fantasies, you sickos. Actually, that was me. I'm the sicko. But sicko or not, no one can deny that Terry Monstrosity, the monster of ceremonies, is anything short of absolutely sick. So, check it out.
I done been a 10 and a win, don't pretend we ain't it, pal. Sit down on your up and now, this a pig found, speed lunkin'. Carve a path once we get around, pre-funkin'. Do the dash on a zip now, let's drown. Vip when I sip brown, confounding, drip from the chin down. Need something, see, got a big sound. That water wet, forever green, keep it in town. It's my possession, ain't no catching simultaneous. Amazing, it's a craze to be insane and just enable. So I'm thankful I've been great at this. Taking words and making ships. Float on top that fodder, never bothered by that hater shit. Gatorade and quenching thirst, I guess it's legacy. Ahead of me, at worst, it's not a curse that there will ever be to knock me off the stack. I'm just gon' zag it like the letter Z. Quit dancing, I got better feet. Microwave on high like the desert heat. Make them melt round the sides like some cheddar cheese. If you don't like the weather, leave, we don't need a reason. Peace.
Good stuff. We call him the monster who never misses for a reason, friends. Check out Terry's Bandcamp page. I dropped the link in the chat. If you can't afford to buy his music right now, give him a follow and check in later when you have more to give. This is an artist you don't want to miss out on, and you definitely want to support in this coming up time, because there's going to be a time, and I am determined to be a part of this solution, where Terry Monstrosity is going to be a name a lot more than just us know, folks. Terry is the real deal. But we're gonna miss out on everything if I don't shut the fuck up and start getting to some art shares. Shut up, me! We got a wide variety of insanely expressive expressions to share, so we gotta fire up this cosmic jalopy stat! And to do that, I need you to turn rationality off. I need you to turn what the fuck to 11. This cosmic calamity ain't an accident, cowpoke. It's an art extravaganza of galactic proportion. Weird at Night is a twice weekly art voyage through the stars. We love music. We love surreal comedy. Weird at Night is like a smoky patchwork quilt with Twilight Zone, 90s cable access, and Reading Rainbow. Oh, stitched in. We're astonishingly wholesome for people who say fuck as often as we do here. More importantly than all of that, we're a show community. The chat is 100% where it's at, so give thanks to Queen Most High, because you're chatting amongst royalty. That's right, Seattle Vibe, impresario, and rappers, DeQueen is the true and ultimate ruler of the Waniverse. Check out DeQueen's Bandcamp and give praise. And don't fear the darkness, darling, we're weird. It's night. You're in the right place. Respect for each other and the flow of the show is essential. Distractors and spammers will be ejected. Give us a follow, and at some point in the night, I'm going to put your name in the pretty lights on the screen and make you a little teeny tiny tune right off the top of my head on the air. And if you subscribe on Twitch, which is so helpful, I will put everything down. I will go find my guitar. I will write you a 20-second song on the spot. That's how we do it. But for now, let the extravaganza begin. So, as we saw in last Saturday's episode, the corporate trash summit between Trash Force and the Space Raccoons ended really poorly. There was an attempted murder, and someone actually died. Raccoon Frank actually died. There was a kidnapping of a raccoon princess by Trash Force, and certainly most importantly to me, I was also abducted and imprisoned by the Space Raccoons. And to be honest, it could be much worse. At least I don't have Alex breathing down my neck and screaming at me all the time. But we have a more in-depth look at this salacious scandal. We call it a tale of two kidnappings.
Previously on Weird at Night, the summit between the Space Raccoons and the Trash Force ended in a total debacle. I've just now started to get the stench of garbage out of my blazer. So what happened? Following the near assassination of Darton III, the Trash Force abducted Princess Paprika, and the Space Raccoons kidnapped Patrick Galactic. We now take a look inside each hostage's experience. Bang bang, roll the clip.
Well, bang bang.
What was the question again? Oh yes, how much are we torturing the prisoner? Very much so. The hostage known as Patrick Galactic is having a painful, starved, and excruciatingly long Chinese water torture session as we speak.
Look, the king said he wanted us to put the fear of God into the prisoner, but after a quick conversation about our Savior Jesus Christ, it became apparent Patrick Galactic doesn't even believe in God. In fact, he told us, what kind of God would allow a human queen to steal trash from the Space Raccoons? What kind of God would let Frank die? Frank! Oh no! I began to doubt my own faith. But then the prisoner played us a song that made everything clear.
Real, nothing is real, nothing is real, nothing is real.
I'm told the Chinese water torture has been very effective on the Galactic One.
Oh, I love it. I love this. Are you kidding me? I've been in show business for 2 decades, and this is like the best gig I've ever had. It's better than any of the open mics I used to play. I mean, I get a meal, I get a green room to collect my thoughts, oh, and water, just in case I get thirsty. I don't know if a lot of people know this or anything, but I don't play in venues that don't provide free water to the musicians, okay? I'm the talent.
So the king just wants us to give him water? Yeah, but like drip by drip. That would take forever. I'm just gonna leave the water bottles here.
They even gave me a drink ticket. What? Oh. Okay, well, they're telling me that's actually just a post pass for when I need to host an episode of Weird at Night.
What was the question? Oh, the prisoner? Patrick who? Never heard of him. Look, I don't have time for a sit-down interview right now. I'm focused on revenge, and I get very horny when I'm vengeful. So y'all should probably get the fuck out of this room right now.
Next Saturday on Weird at Night, our crew visits the Trash Force and checks in on the condition of Princess Paprika.
See? Like I said, it really could be so much worse. It's a pretty great gig. I mean, I spend a lot of time collecting and then cooking trash for the raccoons, which, while not ideal, is actually still much better than being an inside sales rep for a disposable medical supply company, which I have been as well. That isn't the last we'll see of our friend Mcgruff either. He'll be back with another edition of his segment, 60 Seconds, later on tonight. But how is the community? Does anybody have any big news, any big announcements, any cool new puzzles that you've solved and then realized a piece was missing and threw it into the sun? At me in the chat and I'll read them at the break. But the chatting and the adding have yet to even truly begin, my deadlies. I want everyone watching to ask me a weird question. Anything you think might be hard to answer, would be funny, whatever you think weird is. Just at me in the chat and I'll answer them at the chat break. We have quite a banquet of music and art shares tonight, my friends, including Topp, MARC'L, Youngblood. We explore Black history and so much more. But we kick things off tonight with a fire-blazing performance from Atlanta punk band Blood Plums. Strap in, dig deep, and give yourself fully to the moment.
Think you're so
mind is truly clear. There are no more words. Fucking words complicate everything. Mind clear. Perfect sense and no sense. Just shapes and sounds and connection.
Great stuff from Blood Plums. Sometimes the best thing is just a direct punch right to the face. And that's what Stuck, that song, reminds me of. Check out their links we've shared, give them a follow, and consider buying some tunes if you can. Also, big thanks to Blaze in Space and to Naomi Baomi Fayomi for reading and writing that super cool auto-write. Are you new? Don't know what an auto-write is? Well, stick around till the end. We do it together at the end of every single episode, and your auto-write tonight might be the one we read next episode. A lot of the people in the chat right now have had an auto-write read on the air, so maybe this could be yours. Now, it's Black History Month, friends, and we'll be taking some time to celebrate that history throughout February. I feel it's very important to say that Black history is not something we should only acknowledge for a month every year, and here at Weird at Night, we share it often. But February is a designated time to celebrate it, and tonight, we kick off the celebration with a look at Fort Mose, the first all-black settlement in the United States. Check it out.
In the late 1600s, rival imperial powers, Spain and England, shared a border near what became South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Any slave who escaped to Florida from the British colonies was granted their freedom. For the enslaved, Spanish Florida became the first promised land. In 1738, a small group of black people created their own town near St. Augustine. They called it Fort Mose, the first all-black settlement in what is now the United States.
Enslaved folk in South Carolina realized that if they reach Florida, that is not controlled by the English, perhaps they can seek refuge.
300 miles north of Fort Mose, near the Stono River just outside of Charleston, word of the free town to the south reached a group of slaves. This inspired one of the largest slave revolts in the history of the British colonies. One morning in 1739, a group of about 20 black men set out before dawn. As they traveled, they set fire to plantations. Nearly 100 slaves joined them for the journey. When word of the fugitives' rebellion spread, local militiamen were mobilized, and a brutal battle ensued. Many were killed in the clash, and black rebels who were later captured were tried and beheaded in an effort to instill fear. To discourage future rebellions, harsh new slave laws were imposed, including forbidding teaching slaves to read. Within a year, British colonial forces seized Florida from Spain, and Fort Mose was destroyed. But the Stono Rebellion wouldn't be the last time that enslaved black people in the British colonies risked everything to gain their freedom. The drive among black people to end their enslavement would never die.
Now, I can't say that I was aware of this history, friends. Every bit of history that I was taught in school, for every bit of history that I was taught in school, there were really crucial elements of the black experience in America that were simply neglected or buried in the curriculum. We have to search for the truth in order to find it. Education isn't something we can simply stop seeking if we want to have an accurate picture of our history. Please check out Black History in 2 minutes or so. We share their work often, but I would highly encourage all of us to make more use of it than what we can do here just alone on Weird at Night. They do great work and present stories and history that might otherwise be forgotten. Make sure to subscribe now. I think it's really important. Now, we got to bring the energy way up because we got so much more to see, to hear, and experience. So, it's with that in mind that I declare a dance break!
I'm a boss, hit a lick, yeah, cause I run that shit. When I hit a split, yeah, finna lit the tip. I'm gon' lit. I'ma lit the tip. I'm gon' get rich. When I fuck your bitch, I'm a boss, hit a lick, yeah, cause I run that shit. When I hit a split, yeah, finna lit the tip. I'm gon' lit. I'ma lit the tip. I'm gon' get rich. When I fuck your bitch. None of these bitches gon' show me some love. Took your little baby, he fit like a glove. Smoking that good shit, got only a nug. But you just played yourself, I was the plug. Drop a low on it, pop it. If you got a bag in your pocket, I'm just getting started. And I know you mad, he lost his. I'm just saving, stacking up so I can cop shit. And you bitter, broken, bummy, I can't help it.
Big love to MARC'L. Make sure to check out the link we dropped in the chat and give MARC'L a follow. If you love what we're doing, you can do it with us twice a week, friends. Weird at Night is live every Tuesday and Saturday evening at 10 p.m. Pacific. We are carried by the great folks at Converge on Saturdays as well. So whatever platform you're watching us on right now, make sure to follow us so you can be notified each and every time we're live. We love having you here. It's what makes the Waniverse what it is. And speaking of Converge Media, Omari Salisbury, Trey Holiday, and the rest of the crew are always hustling to make sure they're giving Seattle residents the straight scoop on news happening in their communities. And you should check it out.
We're right here at East Precinct. It doesn't get any closer than this right now.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents.
As a small independent media company, we rely on the financial support of individuals and business members to stay on the front lines of the news that's important to you.
Now, Weird at Night is live every Saturday on Converge Media channels, as I said, and we are so proud to be their broadcast partner. But most importantly, Converge is an honest eye in the sky for those seeking to understand their neighborhoods and communities better. Visit their website and consider becoming a financial contributor. I am and have been for well over a year. I'm not dripping cash either, people. Whatever you think of Patty Boom Boom, I got my cash issues, okay? I just do what I can afford. Taking the power back means supporting the people who do the honest work, and Converge Media is composed of a bunch of people doing exactly that. Now, we turn to something completely different. Seattle is a vibrant place when it comes to live events, at least normally when we're not being forced inside. And one queer collective that's producing top-notch events and gatherings is BeautyBoiz. Composed of queer producers from around the area, BeautyBoiz are creating unique events and media for the LGBTQ community. And right now, you should check it out. Super cool stuff from BeautyBoiz. I'm sorry, that just looked like a hell of a lot of fun. It looked amazing. Click the links we shared and learn more about what they're doing and when you can take part. Speaking of parts, Indigenous funk collective Kuik has played quite a part here on Weird at Night. We've heard their music, heard their story, and cheered them on as they carry their heritage and their stories forward. But we're not the only ones. Kuik was recently featured on our local news outlet, King 5 Evening News, and I think we should definitely check it the fuck out.
Raven was walking along the beach. He's been gone a long time.
This Northwest-based band is dedicated to preserving Native American language through music. And it starts with its name and the name of their latest album.
The name of the group is called Kuik, means potlatch in the Tlingit language. And the wooch is a Tlingit word meaning people came together.
We're an indigenous-based ensemble that's very rooted in funk, in jazz, in rock, in everything but the kitchen sink.
You may have seen Kuik's co-founder, Preston Singletary, on Evening. He's also a world-famous glass artist.
I consider myself a musician trapped in the body of a glassblower, you know. I do art and sculpture to make a living, and I'm, well known for that. But my first love was music.
Preston had a chance meeting in 2013 with Bernie Worrell of Parliament Funkadelic. And this band that fuses funk with Native American spoken word and ceremonial regalia was born. Sadly, Bernie and another founding band member, vocalist Clarissa Rizal, died in 2016, both from cancer.
It was pretty devastating to lose friends of ours who, we had such a great working, connection with and, just a really deep friendship.
Wooch was Bernie's final studio project. That's him on the album cover. Kuik only records on vinyl. It's better for storytelling.
Vinyl survives better than tapes, survives better than CDs. Hard drives crash, one day Spotify will crash. A lot of this project, we want to reflect what's going on, in the Native community right now in 2022, and, these records to be, things that people can pick up and, understand what's going on right now.
Kuik has a fifth album in the works and plans to keep making music that defies genres and brings people together.
It is sort of like a sharing of culture, songs, stories, dances, and this is a passion project for all of us.
Awesome. Congrats to Kuik for getting their message out there. This is a band that never slows down. You can find out a ton more about their mission and their work at the links we drop below. I did drop a link to their website. Make sure you read their about stuff. It's very, very powerful. Thanks to King 5 for the footage as well. And we're sticking to the news tip, but changing the format pretty drastically. Notamucho.com has existed for 25 years, sharing music and culture news in the Northwest music scene. They've got a collection of hand-picked tracks they want you to know about. So hold your butts and open some browser windows, because this, as always, is some top shelf stuff.
Feeling like I never get to sleep. Hardest you will probably never see. Till you pay the fee. Dollar after dollar I fiend. Poppin' kinda like my name is Patrice. Nigga, I'm the personification of the heat. Making money chillin' in my seat. Fucking with a shaking till it's ski. Making all my bitches go vegan. I can't give him any more meat. Pussy always right on my D's. Always gotta tell him no teeth. Couple down and tell him no C's. Chiefin' my Keith. Chiefin' like Keith. Sosa. Slump on the sofa. Cut. What she ever say is don't stop. Pussy watercolor paint drops. Yelling to the neighbor, call the cops. Fucking almost got a nigga shot. I don't even want the marquee. All the nigga want is more cheese. Put me on the track and I bleed on him. Make a nigga wanna raise a fee on him.
Turn
Gonna lay here some more. Let me heal and now I'm sure, now I'm sure, now I'm sure. Let me heal and now I'm sure, now I'm sure, now I'm sure.
Hey, Kid Cody, I'm always pissed off, always about to lose my mind, always about to blow my top. Hey, Kid Cody,
winter spawned autumn under the mountain's peak. Oh, and it floats to the bottom, we'll celebrate the streak. J'adore, even after everything, there is still more. When summer spoons the meadow.
Great stuff from Micheaux. If you'd like to know more about those bands, make sure you give Micheaux a follow on Twitter. They do share more throughout the week. And we will also start be sharing more about these artists throughout the week on our social media channels as well. That's something that we've wanted to do for a long time. And we finally got our shit together enough where we think we can do it. So we'll see. We'll see. You never know. But thank you to Matt Ashworth for the excellent selections tonight. And thank you all for being here tonight. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you follow the channel you're watching this show on. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube, follow Converge Media on Facebook. Wherever you are watching this, give a follow because you'll be notified each and every time we go live every Tuesday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. It's Weird at Night, baby. So we have some questions, and I'm going to get to them right about now. Naomi Family noticed my new incantation hat, the wolf hat. Yes, I do love that. And the tambourine, I think, is a nice touch. I agree. Let's see. What else do we got here? Well, Madsy in the End Times, great to see you back in the chat and asking questions like this. How effective do you think the guy that tried to pick me up with the line, "How big is your cock?" was? Well, I know that if somebody asked me that same question in a move to pick me up, I probably wouldn't be very receptive or like it. So I'm going to guess that didn't go very well. Hopefully I'm right. You let me know if I'm wrong. Seattle Synth asks, how did the groundhog get its weather prediction powers? This is a great question. I've been waiting for years for somebody to ask me this question because I might be the only person who knows the answer. Long ago, in a mystic land that I have yet to fully comprehend, no human can fully comprehend this. There was a land and there was a castle, and one day a groundhog emerged directly in front of the castle and uttered the phrase, "by the power of Grayskull," at which point a lightning bolt hit that groundhog, and suddenly the groundhog was blessed with the innate ability to predict the weather forever. And every descendant of that groundhog has been blessed with the same skill. It's a sacred power. It's a sacred oath that they take to only predict the weather accurately when they can. So thank you for the question, Seattle Synth. I'm glad that I could shed some light on this for you all. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Euphony of the month. What kid show or cartoon do you think had the biggest impact on who I am today? Great question. Great question. I don't know which one was the most, but I'll tell you what I liked. He-Man. I really like Pee-wee's Playhouse. That was that had a big effect. The Monkeys. Loved the Monkeys. Loved, I think I said He-Man already. Loved Transformers. Loved Animaniacs. That was a really great show and still holds up. You guys should watch Animaniacs if you haven't. Trying to think of what else. Watched Mr. Rogers, watched Mr. Dressup. Did you guys ever watch Mr. Dressup? It was a Canadian show about this guy who was just this very nice man who just dressed up in different costumes and played different characters on his show. If you can find it on YouTube, you should, because it might just be terrifying now. I'm not really sure. Dartone III asks, what animal... Oh, and thank you, Euphony of the Month, for your question. Dartone III asks, what animal do you think you could beat in a fight? I got one answer for you. Dartone. Dartone is the animal I would beat in a fight. You son of a bitch. I can't believe you're in love. I can't believe somebody else cares about you and I'm alone. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna calm down. Okay. I believe that is all of the questions, but thank you all for your questions. I love this kind of stuff. I love interacting. This is the creative conversation part of the whole thing where I'm talking about creative conversation. So very, very good. Also, a reminder, if you haven't already, to join our Discord. We stay in touch throughout the week there and have a pretty good time. Also, are you an artist? Because if you are a musician, a poet, a painter, a dancer, if you do drag, if you're a comedian, if you're a sketch comic, if you make short films, if you're an animator, if you make literature, you can absolutely be featured here on Weird at Night. You can submit via email at weirdatnight@gmail.com or join our Discord, which I've dropped the link in the chat. Join our Discord and send me a private message because we can work out whatever it is that you might want to have featured on our show here. This is not a closed artist circle, friends. This is dependent on community, and we want to feature your work if you want your work to be featured. So, hopefully that made some sense. Dartone's being pervy in the chat. Surprise! Coming up! As good as it's been, there's still so much more good stuff to come. Not for sale, 60 Seconds with Mcgruff. We got Noel Brass Jr. kicking around, and we'll dive deeper into Black history. But we kick the second half off with a video from a Seattle artist named Topp. This is a music video for a track called Sanity, featuring Topp's sister, Yell. Sanity is the expression of how Topp and Yell both felt while losing their parents and still chasing their dream. Losing their mother in 2015 and their father in 2018, Topp and Yell both decided to dedicate their life to their crazy musical passion. So, having said all that, let's check it out.
I lost my sanity. Lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies. Tripping and I might just lose my sanity.
I lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies. Swear I be tripping and I might just lose my sanity. And I just wanna heal. But how I'm gonna do it when it's impossible to feel right now. The time is really still. But how am I gonna move when it's impossible to chill right now? I said I'm in a fight with my conscience. See, I need to go outside, fucking office. I don't need another voice, I'm not a puppet. Man, I'm really sick and tired of being upset.
I lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies. And I might just lose my sanity.
I lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies.
Think I'm going crazy, get my mind over. Work up on 1,000 till my problems over. Moving forward. Well, yeah, it coming, ain't nobody knew it. Shit, I mean, they probably knew it. The way we hopped up out of heaven gave your ass amnesia. Man, there ain't no time for trouble, ain't nobody need you. Gotta go, I'll get that shit them by my nose. Ready for the heat, my moon, I'm by the coast. Hell yeah. I lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies. And I might just lose my sanity.
I lost my sanity, tripping in, that's why I sing these melodies.
That's why I sing these melodies. Swear I be tripping and I might just lose my sanity.
That was a dope and really moving video from Topp, featuring his sister Yell. Check out their links and show your fucking support. And fuck yeah, Not For Sale totally rules. Check out his links and his t-shirt in our artist studio and show some love. What's next? Oh yay! It's the puppy dog detective, Mcgruff. And I was just starting to feel hungry. Come here, puppy pup, pup, pup. Look into my fork.
Tonight, on 60 Seconds, with Mcgruff. Stars! Space! A void we project ourselves onto. Some say that in the stars you can see your identity. Others attribute to religious connotation, as if God poked holes in the blanket of the sky. But to get closer to knowledge about these celestial and astral objects of mystery, we must talk to an expert. The mark of a good astrologer is the skill to look at things from all perspectives and to communicate it in a way that isn't damaging but is still honest. Tonight, I interview astrologer Allie Parks, who has an excellent eye for composition as a photographer. They have an excellent instinct for light as an artist. And they are well practiced in the disciplines of yoga and bodywork, as I encourage you to learn more about at helloallieparks.com. But tonight, we ask this expert about the stars. Traditionally, in ancient times, astrology was a subject of nobility. Astrologers were considered the ones who knew. Scientists with a gift for measurement and intuition. But nowadays, astrology can be looked at as something mythical, unscientific, or supernatural. So I asked our expert, what are the stars?
Well, the stars that you see at night are always there, even when the sun is shining. And they are, in fact, other suns burning far off in distant galaxies, many, 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 many light years away. And they often have planets circling them, much like our own.
Who knew the galaxy was so large? It sounds infinite. Is the universe infinite? Does this go on and on and on?
I do believe so. I believe it goes on and on and on and eventually loops back through itself as it transgresses portals of black holes and re-enters and emerges through the light again, only for it to conjoin and connect us back where we currently are.
So, Allie, what can I learn from looking at the sky about myself, me just being a simple dog in Noir? What can the stars mean for me? Like, am I like a Capricorn or something like that?
That's a great question, Mcgruff. In fact, I have your chart pulled up right here. You were born July 27th, 2021 at 6:18 p.m. in Noirland. And you are, in fact, a Leo sun. So the sun was in the tropical zodiac of Leo, the lion, at the time of your birth.
Tropical. Interesting. Noirland is a more gray, rainy place.
This is true. It is a gray, wet place. However, the tropical zodiac is a geocentric perspective of the solar system. So looking outward from our perspective here on Earth. And the sun was in the sector of the sky that we deem to be the astrological sign of Leo at the time of your birth.
So what does this mean? So I'm a lion? I'm not a dog?
Well, archetypally, you have lion or lioness qualities. And that often means that you, people that fall under this sign tend to be boisterous, can be loud. They can be quite proud of who they are or their abilities. Often the word arrogance is brought up when speaking about a Leo. However, they're not all bad. They can be very kind and nurturing, fierce lovers, and great, great companions. They're often the life of a party. And I fancy a Leo. There's some great things here. Mars is in the 8th house, which is the house related to death and money, like other people's resources. And so Mars, being a malefic planet of action and desire and like heated passion, is in this place of like other people's resources and like sex and death.
Death, destruction, sex, resources. Allie, I don't know if you've been watching Weird at Night or if the stars have, but how did you know what just happened at the corporate summit between the Trash Force and the Space Raccoons? What is there? I mean, that's pretty much all there is to learn about my chart, right? So that's probably not that interesting.
Oh, quite contrary. Your chart is nuanced, and I could spend a lot of time dissecting your chart. In fact, Mcgruff, you have some very interesting aspects.
Where does the moon fit into all of this?
Well, at the furthest point away from you, at the time that you were born, the moon, our satellite, who you see at night, was conjunct the planet Neptune, which is a very mysterious and ethereal planet that can be related to addictions and alcohol, like spirit. It's spiritus and that animation that sort of moves through us from the cosmos.
I never animated anything. As a detective, I dealt only in truth and clarity, and I was rarely wrong.
Well, your clarity and the truth may have been a little delusional at times.
Arrest that bird!
Mcgruff, how could you?
Can I ask you, do you like to drink?
I've had a couple White Claws in my day, if you know what I mean.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, given that the planet of spiritus and alcohol, Neptune, is closely intermingling and sharing its energy with your emotional sense of self, the moon.
Wow, a lot is dawning on me during this interview. It makes me wonder, is this like a positive thing? Like, do you think people look up at the sky and then they get the chart read and then they learn more about themselves? Is this like helpful? Like, I feel seen. It feels strange.
Well, I think that if you are willing to take accountability for yourself and your archetypal energy, the way that you express who you are and manipulate your own free will, understanding your birth chart and the energies at play that you resonate in the world every day, can be a very empowering way to own the self and to, well, do well and do good for others in your life. But I certainly think that, as with any practice or substance or ideology, it can be manipulated and it certainly can have its downfalls. I'd warn you to watch your relationship with authority. You have Saturn opposing your natal sun very closely. And so often when I see this placement, I see individuals who are opposed and or at odds with the authorities in their life and can often get in trouble or in binds with the law.
Ah, yes. I used to be the law in this town. I was a detective. Head of the crime department. But that job now belongs to Steve Germany. And here I am. And in just 60 seconds, we've covered, basically, the entire universe. Talking to Allie Parks made me realize that just as much as you are the person on the inside, you are also the world on the outside. And no matter how dark it gets, there will always be a star or a friend to help light the way. Next time on 60 Seconds with Mcgruff. We are objects of Earth. Therefore, we are Earthlings. Who are these alien plants among us? And what is this mysterious soil upon which they plant their roots?
God damn, Mcgruff getting some chart work done. Sounds like there were some really big revelations. I kind of felt Mcgruff's mind swelling and then exploding with the information that was imparted to them. Just a little side note, Mcgruff's birthday used for this reading was his actual creation date, July 27th, 2021 at 6:18 p.m. Blaze in Space and I were able to confirm that it is the actual moment upon which Mcgruff was released into the Waniverse. So we got the best chart reading we possibly could. It was very accurate. Thanks so much to our astrologer, Allie Parks. We dropped a link to her website. Please go check that out and dig in. Obviously, she's a very fascinating and nuanced astrologer. So make sure you give that some of your time. Now it's time to dig back into Black history. And this time we're going to focus on the Chicago sound and the birth of modern gospel music. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to do it right now.
In the early 1900s, a mass exodus known as the Great Migration saw throngs of Southern African Americans uproot their lives and head north, seeking to escape the violence, terror, discrimination, and agonizing poverty of the Jim Crow South. Black migrants primarily moved to urban enclaves, bringing with them their families, their religion, and their musical traditions. This rural Southern religious musical culture mixed with Northern urban influences to give birth to a new sound, gospel.
Thomas Dorsey, who was named Georgia Tom, we credit him as being the father of gospel.
Thomas Dorsey left Atlanta for Chicago during the Great Migration, along with thousands of other migrants who made the journey north.
Thomas Dorsey arrived in what was really a Renaissance period in Chicago. There was a flourishing blues industry, a burgeoning jazz industry, and there was also the growth of small religious institutions, storefront churches in Bronzeville, which was the center of Black life in Chicago. And so the proximity between the jazz and blues clubs and the churches led to a great deal of cross-fertilization of African American culture in Chicago.
Dorsey was no exception to this cultural fusion. He began to write inventive new music, setting sacred words to the popular harmonic structure of the blues and jazz, including his most well-known composition, Take My Hand, Precious Lord, penned while mourning the death of his wife and their infant child.
Thomas Dorsey works with singers like Mahalia Jackson to get churches interested in the music that he's creating. It is both a spiritual imperative for him as well as a commercial one, how you sell music.
Reverend Clarence Cobbs of the First Church of Deliverance in Chicago was one of the early pioneers of this new gospel sound. Cobbs introduced the Hammond B3 organ into his pastoral home.
For us, being one of the first churches, if not the first church, to bring the Hammond organ from the club into the church, many other churches took his lead.
The history of African American music is a tradition of a division between secular music and religious music. Dorsey, in many ways, is the innovator of blending and movement across those forms.
Fascinating stuff. I was not aware of the Great Migration that they described. So once again, we just find ourselves, needing to educate ourselves because culturally, there's some big gaps in our educational curriculums. We'll be celebrating Black history all February long and far beyond that, Weird-Arinos, as our educational institutions have largely failed to inform us about this history. It is our duty to educate and expand ourselves, and so we shall. Quick reminder that even though this episode is nearing its end, the party isn't over. Join our Discord server and hop on the community voice chat. channel after the show. I'll be there about 10 minutes after we go off the air, and we hang out. We might hang out for a good long time. There's been some recent chats that have been like 2.5 hours long. People on the East Coast staying up till 5 in the morning. It's been an absolute blast. So join us there tonight. It's kind of like hanging out in a green room after a show. But for now, what we're gonna do is what we call the auto-write. Now, what is an auto-write, you might be asking? Well, it's the thing that they Blazing Space read that Naomi Bammy Fail Me wrote last episode. But more specifically, the auto-write is the tool of the surrealists. It's a little exercise we do to try and access our unconscious mind. And how are we gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna count down from 10, and as I do, I simply ask you to try and clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'm gonna say go. When I say go, everybody just starts furiously typing whatever comes into your mind, no matter what it is. And we do that for about 30 or 45 seconds, at which point I will say stop. We all hit enter or return, and everything shows up in the chat. It doesn't have to make any sense. It doesn't have to be spelled correctly. You don't have to edit anything. It's, in my opinion, slightly better if you don't, but it's up to you. So what I'm gonna do is, once again, I'm gonna count back from 10. You try to clear your mind. When we get to 1, I'm gonna say go. When I say go, we all start furiously tip typing. And after about 30, 45 seconds, I'm gonna say stop. We all enter return. Everybody's auto-write shows up, and voila! We have ourselves a Weird at Night episode. We are gonna be seen out tonight by King Youngblood, who has an awesome new lyric video, so don't skip out early. So, let's do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Get typing. Whatever comes into your mind, people, get typing. All right, and stop. I'll drop mine in the chat. I'll start reading that while we wait for the others. Tippy type, I'm the lost highway of dogs in danger. And also cats, because they are pretty nice. Actually, cats are fundamentally kind of mean, but whatever. I love them. I'm here today to ask you to give away everything you've never owned and sell it at a loss. Why? Because the power of forgiveness for long-lost Dorito corn dogs is the power of a god. Don't waste it. Don't mail your heart. It will get smashed up in shipping. I can't believe I wrote all of this. Anarchy and Bedrock. Good, it's great to finally get a chance to bang out an auto-write like it's been a minute since we got to catch up. Today was swell. We managed to pile all the records from the back onto a large shelf that looks perfect. Very cool. Glad to hear it, Anarchy and Bedrock. TC Blackout. Swallowed by the hole in the middle of the sea. But it wasn't such a bad day. John Travolta didn't take my face off, and T-Rex stayed in his pen. Lakers beat the Supersonics. It wasn't so bad, minus the horrible drop into the deep. Nice little Ice Cube reference you got in there too, TC Blackout. Today was a good day. Ash Maddie. Vacuum cleaners make great houseplants if you're smoking too much Sherman Douglas. The fronds over my mom's ponds look like dongs in the moonlight. The fronds over my mom's ponds look like dongs in the moonlight. Sonata in A minor is what I used to call my cat, but now I call her Gladys. Every day when my feet hurt, I soak them in a mixture of buttermilk and urine. Fantastic, Ash Matty. That's the editor of Notamucho, everybody. So when you read that site, just remember what he said. Better Kitty Meow. Very nice. Very nice. She needed a numerologist stat. She needed to figure out her place in the universe. She went to the grocery store. There were a lot of numbers there. She stood in front of the frozen foods. She grasped a bag of peas. Its numbers were immeasurable, except to the pea bag checkers. She felt like a frozen pea. Better Kitty Meow, thank you so much for sharing that auto-write. Thank you very much. Madsy in the End Times. I'm branded by a history of stone bruises and emotional lesions. The promises made keep drowning in the quicksand, and I may be denied. Great auto-write. Thank you, Madsy in the End Times. Euphony of the Month. A breeze blows through the gaps in my head, in one ear and out the other. To sleep, to dream, to drop the shades of my eyes that are their lids. Good night, my friends. I have to catch some Z's. Thank you, Euphony of the Month. Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, everyone. We're doing so good. Naomi Baomi Faomi, I'm laughing at the idea of me furiously typing when I'm just on my phone and I'm in denial about needing to wear reading glasses during WAN. But here I am, plunking along with as much fury as I can muster. And stop. Very nice, Naomi Baomi Faomi. Motzi! Good to see you in the chat, Motzi. Everyone has a different kind of properly wrapping a cable. Over-under is a popular choice, but it never was for me. I prefer to gently twist in wide loops. My father used to coil a hose over his shoulder and under his elbow. What the fuck kind of damage might that cause? Not to the hose, but to me, his neglected child. Great stuff, Motzi. And I'm definitely a large, slow twist guy myself. I'm totally with you on that. Bicentennial baby. A few photos, an old postcard, and a heart so worn you can see through it. But like the neurons we are, I used my gangly arms to tap, tap, tap an impulse here and wait for an impulse to tap, tap, tap its response. And it did. And that's how my world continues to spin. Very nice, Bicentennial baby. That was great. Dark Tone the Third. Butts. We all have them, but what do we need them for? It defiantly helps with sitting and pooping. Those are both fun and healthy, and after tonight's show, I'm going to teach the internet box who's boss with my ass. Like every time I go super invested, it was like, refresh your page. I'm sorry, Dark Tone. I'm sorry that you couldn't participate. I'm sorry that your auto-write got a little bit messed up, but it was entertaining. And as much as I hate you, it was pretty good. Good job. Excellent. Great job, everybody. I love this. Once again, we have walked the tightrope of dark and light, life and death. We've experienced the duality of spiritual freedom within a digital prison. And I'm about to be returned to my space raccoon prison tonight, immediately after our Discord session. Weird at Night is not something I create. It's not something any one person creates. It's a moment. It's an experience that we collectively conjure together. It wouldn't have been the same if even one of you wasn't with us tonight. I want you to internalize that. This whole night wouldn't have been the same without you. Thank you. Weird at Night is founded on 4 key principles. People come first. Time matters more than money. Art is the antidote. Attack with love. Love yourself because you're the best thing that's ever going to happen to you. We're living in a precarious and uncertain time as we have for nearly 2 full years. We are surrounded by voices encouraging us to point the finger at each other when in actuality, real strength comes from unity. Unified voices create change, and that is exactly what establishment types need to hear. Separation is illusion, friends. We can't escape our shared existence even if we try. I'm not asking anyone to tolerate bigotry or hatred or conspiracy nonsense. I'm simply reminding myself and all of you that unified voices are the ones that actually create lasting change. Tonight, we'll be seen out by our friends King Youngblood, who are sharing their lyric video for their new track, 1,000 Songs. It's a great one, so stick around. I'm Patrick Galactic. We are Weird at Night. Take good care of you and love your people every chance you get. I'll see you Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific or right after the show in the Discord voice chat. But either way, chef's kiss to you all. I love you very much. Here's King Youngblood.
brand new building, familiar and lost in awe. I cannot find my way around the memories in these halls. I wish that I could tell you, but I can't find the words. I'm singing about 1,000 different songs I've never heard. Let the memories trickle down, let the ones forget, let them fall away, let them fall away. Let the memories trickle down, let the ones forget, let them fall away, let them fall away. Yesterday. Experienced a lifetime in just no time at all. I'm thinking that somewhere along the way it'll all pay off. And long before you ask me which moment caused it all, I'm living in 1,000 different songs beyond these walls. Let the memories trickle down, let the ones forget, let them fall away, let them fall away. Let the memories trickle down, let the ones forget, let them fall away, let them fall away. Yesterday. Let the memories trickle down, let them all soak in, and let them fall away, let them fall away. Let the memories trickle down, let them all soak in, let them fall away, let them fall away, let them fall away, let them fall away. Yesterday.
Heck yeah. Man. All right. Rock and roll. That's a perfect way to kick it. All right. I love it.
You're weird at night, so weird at night. Thanks for being so weird at night. For 100 nights, weird at night.
Freed from the shackles of time and space, we present Weird